Welcome back to the BB podcast. I'm proud to announce that today we have our first guest on the show, Sean. It's going to be a great episode today, and we're going to talk about the NBA. What do you have to say, Sean? It's your first time on the show.
I'm so excited to be on the show. Basketball is my favorite sport, so.
That's awesome, yeah, and this podcast is going to be great. Um, yeah, all I have to say is I really hope you enjoy it. The first thing we're going to be talking about today is teams who are doing really well. And the first team on the board that we're going to talk about is the Utah Jazz. Now, do you know much about the Utah Jazz?
Not a lot other than they have Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, Jordan Clarkson's a guard on the team, and he's playing pretty well this year. I mean, he's always been a great scorer, and he's continuing to do that this year. The one standout on the team is Lauri Markkanen, who used to play for the Bulls, and he's just been kind of just existing kind of as a role player. But this year he's been doing amazing. He's probably going to be an all-star. He's averaging a good amount of points, and he's really carrying his team. The Utah Jazz are, I believe, the 7 or 8 seed right now, and which gives them a play-in spot, which is incredible because many people at the start of the season thought the Jazz would be one of the worst teams in the league. So, but they're really performing well, and it's great to see. I love hearing about underdog stories throughout sports, so that's awesome. And, next up, we got the Boston Celtics, which is my brother's favorite team here. So, yeah, what do you have to say?
I might be a little biased, but I think they're one of the best teams in the league, and I think they're going to make it to the championship.
I mean, I don't think that's being biased at all because they're the 1 seed right now. They're playing awesome. They have so many good pieces. I can't really say enough good things about them. Who's your favorite player on the team?
Probably like Jalen Brown. The only thing is they need to stop losing to the Magic.
I know. It seems like Bol owns them, huh? They're yeah, I don't know. It might be revenge because they traded Bol, but no, the Celtics are doing great. I mean, not only do they have Jason Tatum, one of the best players in the league, Jalen Brown's awesome. Robert Williams is such a great center. They have so many pieces, Al Horford, Malcolm Brogdon. And it's like all their players fit so well together and they know their role and they play it. And that's why they do so well. I mean, you can't compliment them enough. I think Joe Mazzulla is a really good young coach coming into the league, and he's doing a great job with the team.
I I also think the Celtics are like a very big team, so they don't have any really mismatches against good teams.
Yeah, that's a great point. They have so many great defenders that can cover anyone. You know, Marcus Smart is going to get in the
Yeah.
best player in the other team's face, and Rob Williams is going to block all the shots. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about the Celtics. I mean, they're such a great team. I think they can only get better, too. They have so many young pieces. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him a top team in the league for the next 5, 6, 7 years to come. But yeah, no,
But
they're amazing.
let's just hope that Jalen Brown doesn't leave because all the times we tried to trade him.
I'm gonna say if I'm Jalen Brown, right? The Celtics have tried to trade me and put me in trade talks for like three years straight. I'm gone. I'm leaving. I'm going to a team who really wants me because it's just disappointing. You give your heart and soul to an organization, and then they just try to trade you multiple times. I mean, I don't really know what to say. What do you think about that?
I don't know what the Celtics are thinking trying to trade Jalen Brown, a young, good player. I don't know who they were trying to trade him for, but
Yeah, yeah. I know. I think it was Kevin Durant one year. I think I don't I don't recall the other years too much, but I remember it's Kevin Durant this year. Yeah, and so yeah, moving on, we're gonna talk about the Bucks.
yeah, the Bucks, they're they're very good. They hopefully Chris Middleton doesn't get hurt in the playoffs again.
Yeah,
That's really all I have to say about the Bucks.
I mean, don't the thing I have to say about the Bucks is Giannis. I mean, that's literally the team. Giannis, one word, one big word, right? Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, you can't stop him when he's driving to the basket. It's not possible. You can foul him and send him to the line. He'll probably hit 1 out of 2 free throws, but like I don't. We haven't seen a player like him at all in the NBA. Like I don't think you can really compare him to anyone. Like he's so dominant. Once he can shoot, I'm not saying shoot 3 pointers. I'm saying shoot mid ranges. He's gonna be even more nasty. And it's not like he's 35 years old. He's still 26 and he can or 27. He can still get better. I mean, such a phenomenal player. And then you have Drew Holiday, a really underrated point guard in the league, in my opinion. He can drive to the basket so well. He can shoot. Chris Middleton obviously is coming back from an injury. You like Chris Middleton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he can shoot really well. I don't know how great his defense is. That's another good thing about Drew Holiday, though, because he just has great defense. And they have great role players: Javon Carter, Pat Connaughton. The one difference between them and the Celtics is depth, though. I think the Celtics have better depth, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. But other than that, I think they have a great team. And then after that, we have the Nets.
I think the Nets are a little overhyped.
I that's a conversation to be made. I think they might be a little overhyped this year. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. I mean,
Make the playoffs?
I didn't make the playoffs. I don't think they're gonna make the finals. Sorry, I know they're gonna make the playoffs.
Definitely not going to make the finals.
Yeah. I just think they're a too top heavy team, and when it comes to playoffs, that's not going to win you games. You saw it last year. They do have a better team than they did last year. Nicholas Claxton is playing a lot better than he did last year, and some other players they have. But I don't know. KD, Kyrie's just does a bunch of stupid stuff. You never know. He might be out for the whole playoffs. Kevin Durant is a great player. He's been playing great this year. And then you have Ben Simmons, who just doesn't even. It's all in his head at this point. He doesn't really know how to play the game like he used to. I mean, if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, you do have a lot of talent there, but I don't know what your future is like. But this year you are doing really well, so I'll give you that.
Also, I just don't think the Nets can really beat the Bucks or the Celtics in a 7-game series.
Because of that depth, you think they don't have the depth?
Yeah.
And who's gonna guard Giannis too?
Yeah.
Like no one.
Well, really on any team who's going to guard Giannis.
Yeah. But like especially on the Nets, Kevin Durant can't shut down Giannis.
Yeah.
Nicholas Claxton isn't shutting down Giannis. I don't think you can shut down Giannis. And for the Celtics, they just don't have enough players who can cover the Celtics players because they're so good. Next up, Kings. Kings fans, let's go Kings. Hey, y'all are gonna make the playoffs as long as you don't have a huge fallout. It's been like I think it's been over 10 years since the Kings made the playoffs. It's really tough to be a Kings fan, but now you have so much to look forward to. Sabonis, you could say he's like just for the now. I don't think Sabonis is for the future. He's a great player. He's not old or anything, but the pieces you have surrounding him are a lot younger than him, like De'Aaron Fox, Davion Mitchell. They're great players, and De'Aaron Fox has been playing well this year. Sabonis is playing well, and you have so much to look forward to. De'Aaron Fox is such a great player. I don't think he gets enough credit sometimes. His speed, and his finishing ability is so great, and then he can play make as well. What do you think about De'Aaron Fox?
I think he's really good. I don't know much about the Kings, but they're doing good this season.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, no one really knows much about the Kings. I mean, they haven't been great. But Kings fans, I'm really happy for you. I'm rooting for you too. I love your team. Yeah. Moving on, we got the Joker and the Denver Nuggets. I mean,
pretty much just the Joker.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, they're the 1 seed for a reason. I think Jokic, if you don't have Jokic, they might not even be a playoff team, but they do have role players. They have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, great defender. I love him. They have Jamal Murray, of course, who's playing a lot better this year. I'm glad he's taking like kind of a little bit of a step up because the problem with the Nuggets in previous years is their injuries. You have Michael Porter Jr. this year who's playing decent. I wouldn't say he's like a solid role player, honestly. But those two players are always injured, and now you have them healthy and they're playing pretty solid, which is awesome. And then my favorite player on the team, do you know who it is?
Oh, Bones Highland.
Bones Highland, exactly. Yep, you know me too well. Bones Highland, I love him. He comes in, he just is like a spark plug off the bench. He's just a great scorer. But what's your impression of the Nuggets?
They're very good. They probably could be a team that could beat the Celtics.
That's what I think too, because Jokic, you can't guard Jokic. Robert Williams is a great guard, but the problem is Jokic is like a point center. So honestly, they would probably stick Horford on him, but like Jokic is a point center. Robert Williams isn't great at guarding around the perimeter, and Jokic is great at facilitating and playmaking. He's gonna get by Al Horford or Robert Williams quite often, and if they try to collapse on that, kick it out to one of their shooters. But yeah.
Imagine Bones Highland on the Celtics. Yeah.
I don't actually think that would be a good fit.
Really? Off the bench? No.
Off the bench, but he's not a good defender. If you're the Celtics, you're made on defense. But he would. I love Bones, but I think he has certain teams he fits with better than others. I do love Bones though. I love watching Bones. Yeah. Is there anything else on the Nuggets or?
No, not really.
Awesome. All right, moving on. Ja Morant. Do I have to? Sorry. The Memphis Grizzlies. It's pretty much John Morant, but anything to say about the Grizzlies?
Not really, besides stuff about John Morant.
I mean, John Morant. I can't compliment him enough. It is a little disrespectful. The Grizzlies do have a lot of players. Of course. They have a few good players too. The problem is you have John Morant, who's such a good facilitator, such a good playmaker, such a good finisher. He's one of the most fun players to watch in the league, in my opinion. I love watching him. He's so explosive. You have Jaren Jackson Jr., who can shoot, who's a great center or power forward, can spread the floor really well. He's one of the best defenders in the league. You have Desmond Bane. Anytime Ja facilitates, pass right out to Desmond Bane, 3-point swish every time. Bane is such a good shooter. The problem is it kind of falls off after that, in my opinion. You have like the likes of Dylan Brooks and people like that who are good role players, but I don't think they make a big difference in a 7-game series in the playoffs. That's the big fault I have with the Grizzlies in the playoffs.
We need John Morant to bring back the dunk contest.
I know. Oh my god, we should do a segment on that eventually too. The dunk contest. Oh my, it's been so bad in recent years. But yeah, jeez. And then the last team we got to talk about who are doing really well are the Pelicans. Do you know much about the Pelicans?
Zion's been playing pretty well, but he's also been hurt for a little bit.
Yeah, and the
He's
problem
always
is
hurt.
there's other really good player, Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
He's out now. He's been out for like a couple weeks, and he's really what puts that team over the edge. He's such a good player. You talk about like a forward guard kind of. He just can play multiple positions. He's a great shooter. He can take to the basket. It's really fun watching him play. I mean, he's on my fantasy basketball team, so it's a little frustrating because he's been out for so long. But no, he's a great player. Oh, speaking of fantasy, just to go off topic for a little bit, me and my friends did a fantasy football league, and we didn't have enough people, so we asked my brother to join, and he won the whole thing. It was really funny, but he did awesome. But yeah, how did it feel winning? Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's probably not going to be the same with my fantasy basketball team right now.
Hey, my fantasy basketball team, I'm like first and second in both my leagues. I'm doing great. I'm always good in fantasy basketball. I've done the league 2 year like already for 2 years. And this is the third year. I've won it both years. So I'm hoping I can continue that trend. But yeah. But back to the Pelicans. They also have my guy, my man, the legend Jonas Valanciunas. I love him. He's like, you don't really know him if you're like just don't know a lot of basketball, but he's such a great center, and he's like he can run. He just hustles. He works so hard, but I really love him. So I love watching him play. Anything else on the Pelicans?
No, not really.
Yeah, other than those are the teams that are doing really well. I know we're missing a few. But yeah, we talked about a good amount. If you have any teams you love that you think are doing really well, just put in the comments. But yeah, so as I said before, I like to keep this podcast positive, but I know that you have to be negative too in some senses. So we are also going to talk about teams who are underperforming. There are less teams that we put for underperforming than for doing really well. So, but the first team we have King of the Fourth Quarter, Kenny's Bulls. Unfortunately, you know. I don't really know much to say about the Bulls. You have DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, you have Nikola Vucevic. You have some players there, but like they're all aging. I think you gotta. I don't want to say rebuild because that's what you've been doing for quite a bit. Like you haven't made the playoffs for like 6 years, but maybe like retool. You have Patrick Williams, but I don't think he's gonna really come to much. Honestly, I don't think he's a great player, but. Yeah, I don't know. What would your advice be to the Chicago Bulls?
I have no clue. I think DeMar DeRozan. I don't know if they should get rid of him just yet.
He plays well, but he had a great season last year. The problem is he's not doing as good this season. He's getting older. His value is just going to decrease across the league. So it's a really tough position. I think you try to move DeRozan and Vucevic, try to bring in some young talent. Kind of retool and keep Zach LaVine on the team. That would be my suggestion. But again, I'm not a Bulls fan. I don't really know the team in and out. So if there are any Bulls fans, just to correct us. But yeah, that would be my advice. And then another disappointing team is the Phoenix Suns. Don't get me wrong. I know Devin Booker's been out for quite a bit, but still, Chris Paul has been playing really bad this year for Chris Paul. He's had a big drop off. DeAndre Ayton's a solid center, but you know, there was better players in that draft class. And you had the number one overall pick. I think you took the most safest player, which wasn't the best option.
Does DeAndre Ayton have a long time contract?
Um, yeah, they gave him a contract extension because the Indiana Pacers offered him one. Um, and the Phoenix Suns matched it. So he has like a 4-year deal, I believe.
I'm surprised he would want to stay there.
He had no choice.
Oh, really?
The Pacers offered him a contract, and the Suns matched it because he was restricted. When you're a restricted free agent, that means if your team wants you back, they can pay you whatever amount. Kind of like there's I forget, it's weird, but if like the Pacers offer you a contract, your team has to match that if they want to keep you, and that's what happened.
The Suns will probably want to hold on to DeAndre Ayton.
I mean, yeah, I think he's definitely gonna be a great player, and has good value, but I don't know. Yeah. And Clippers, man, people thought at the start of the season the Clippers were gonna win the whole thing, huh?
Yeah.
I think they expected Kawhi to be healthier, quicker, or do better when he came back from injury. I mean, he's doing good now, but I don't know. You have Paul George, who's been playing great, injured. Like a lot of the stories of these teams is they just have injuries, and that's what's really hurting them. Yeah, and that you have good pieces around you. You have John Wall, who's been playing pretty well this year for like a role player. You have Reggie Jackson. I love Ivica Zubac. I mean, it's not like greatest player in the league, but yeah, if you're the Clippers, like where do you go from here?
I don't even know. They're in a big hole.
Yeah, I mean you just getting older and older and older, right? Yeah, that's tough. I think you got to definitely go for the now and try to win now. Hopefully Kawhi just keeps improving. You slowly climb up. Hopefully get out of the play-in and perform well in the playoffs. But yeah,
he is slowly starting to get a little better this season.
It's hard off an ACL tear. You see a lot of players just not come back from that, but he's on his way. He's doing better. So yeah. And then we got the Trailblazers. I was questioning putting this team on the list because I don't think a lot of people thought they were gonna do great at the start of the season. But I think the expectation was Damian Lillard's on the team. You have Anthony Simons, so you're gonna do better. I wouldn't even say they're underperforming actually. Now thinking about it, because people had them around the plan, and that's kind of where they are now. But I just kind of want to talk about the team.
Damian Lillard, he's been hurt. It's not helping my fantasy team.
Yeah, but he's also your favorite player, right?
Yeah, I love Damian Lillard.
I mean, like, I feel bad for him because, it really hurts when your favorite player gets hurt because you can't watch them as much or you can't really follow them. And I mean, he's also on your fantasy team, right? So
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, just when your favorite player gets hurt, it's really sad to see. But hopefully the Blazers can make the play and maybe make some noise. I don't have them winning the whole thing, of course, but Anthony Simons is one of the better young talents in the NBA right now. So if he continues to progress and stay with y'all, I think you're gonna be really good in the future. And Dame, I don't think it's gonna get really, really, really worse anytime soon. So yeah. And then we have 2 more teams left. Next is the Heat. They're just disappointing. It's disappointing. Can you say anything else?
No.
I mean, they're just like not doing that great. I mean, Jimmy Butler isn't doing. I don't know his stats off the top of my head, but I don't think he's doing as well as he's doing this year. The team's just not performing well at the end of the day. I know there are injury concerns here and there. Tyler Hero, way too overhyped. Would you say that?
Tyler Hero, or at least last year, was in my opinion, one of the most overrated players in the whole entire league.
I know, like, he's not a good defender. And he's always on and off. He either does really good or really bad. And it's just, like, everyone's like, oh my gosh, Tyler Hero, oh my gosh. I'm like, I don't really see the hype around that. I'm not saying he's a bad NBA player. I'm saying he's a good NBA player. I just think people overrate him and his potential that he has in the league. But, yeah. And the last team, I hate to say it, and my favorite team, but the Los Angeles Lakers are letting me down. I think a lot of people expecting them to at least be in the plan at this point. They're the 12 seed, few games out. Again, another team hurt by injuries. Not that it really hurt. I mean, they were in the plan before AD got injured, but AD was playing at such a high caliber level The problem was AD was playing good and LeBron wasn't playing as good. They don't really work that well together. And it's just sad to see as a Lakers fan. I'm a big LeBron fan. LeBron is doing really well now, which is amazing. He's going to pass Kareem in scoring very soon, less than 10 games, I would assume, which is awesome. But yeah, like we got to put it together. We don't have three-point shooting. We can't shoot. We Our defense is solid, but it's just our team chemistry is just not there. And at the end of the day, it's about team chemistry and it's also about three-point shooting. If you can't shoot threes, the team that you're playing is just going to back off you. What do you think about the Lakers?
Pretty much everything you said about them. They need to be able to shoot threes.
Yeah.
It's just something that every team in the NBA pretty much needs to do.
I do have news though that today they trade for Roy Hachimura. He's a forward on the Wizards who was pretty upset being there and didn't want to be there. They gave up Kendrick Nunn, who wasn't like doing great. That's all I'm gonna say. He was just like existing on the Lakers. He wasn't helping them in a big way. So they got rid of him and 3 second-round picks. If you're a Lakers fan, you love this trade. I know it's not gonna win you the finals, but you love this trade. Roy Hachimura is 24 years old. He's a great three-point shooter. And this year he's shooting like 33%, which isn't good. But last season he shot 44% from 3. I think it's just a situation that he's in and he's unhappy with the team, which is why he's underperforming. I think he was injured. I think he only played 44 games last year, but he's a young player. He's going to get better. You're getting rid of an old player, some second-round picks, which most likely won't turn into anything, for a player that can play forward, which is a position you desperately need right now because Anthony Davis is out and can shoot. It's a significant upgrade from Wenyen Gabriel, who's my second favorite player in the whole NBA. I love Wenyen Gabriel. I love the effort he puts in, but Roy Hachimura is just a better player.
Hopefully for you and the Lakers, he will fit in well.
I'm hoping
Maybe
to.
bring the team together.
I'm hoping to. I don't want to say he's a leader, but I think he's just definitely going to fit well with their scheme. But yeah, I'm a hopeful Lakers fan. I'm an optimistic Lakers fan. I really think they can make the plan. If they make the plan, I think they can make some noise. But yeah, I'm really hopeful. It's hard being. I know you couldn't relate because you're a 1 seed, right? But it's hard out here being a 12 seed, struggling. But yeah, so that pretty much wraps it up for the teams that are underperforming. And now we're going to get into some predictions, which is what I really like. I like predicting stuff. So, essentially what's going to happen is Sean and I are both going to tell you our predictions for the conference finals of each conference, of course, and then the NBA finals and who wins. Do you want me to go first, or you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
In the conference finals for me, I'm going to have the Bucks Celtics, the Celtics winning that. And I'm also going to have the Nuggets and the Grizzlies. I know a lot of people might not expect the Grizzlies to make it to the conference finals, but I think they're going to make a big run and make it to the conference finals.
I love it. Rooting for a team that you love to watch, or just like players on the team. And I think it's definitely possible. It just kind of all depends on Ja Morant, but I think you can't go wrong with any of those picks. They're all great picks.
I know this might sound crazy, but I also think the Grizzlies are going to beat the Nuggets and go to the finals and lose to the Celtics. The finals.
You think the Grizzlies are going to go to the finals? Never mind. I take back everything I said. There's one thing about optimism. There's one thing about realism, my friend. The Grizzlies going to the finals, maybe in 1 year, 2 years. I don't think they're going this year. I'll tell you that. But, hey, it's awesome. I mean, it's great being what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. It's great loving a team, but I don't know. That's a little risky. I mean, I shouldn't be talking. At the start of the season, I thought the Lakers were going to go to the finals, right? And now look where they are. Don't worry. I don't have them going to the finals anymore. But, yeah. So, my teams, I have Bucks Celtics as well. Same thing as you. Because I think those are just the two best teams in the conference finals. I can't see any other team making it over them.
Yeah, I don't see any other team beating them.
I have the Bucks beating the Celtics just because of the Giannis factor. Literally, that's it. Giannis and Antetokounmpo. They have Chris Middleton, Jrue Holiday. As long as they're healthy, I think they're winning. And I know your favorite team. I'm sorry, but yeah,
it's definitely a possibility for the Celtics to lose.
Yeah,
to
but
the Bucks.
I'm gonna be honest. Originally, I thought no Western Conference team could win the whole finals at the start of the year. Now I'm taking that back. And I'll explain about that in a minute. But in my conference finals, remember, I'm hoping that all these players are going to be healthy. I have Nuggets Pelicans. And the reason I have that is I think Zion and Brandon Ingram and the team they have in place work so well together, and they're going to be great. As long as they're okay with injuries, as long as they don't have too many injury concerns. And the same goes with the Nuggets, with Michael Porter Jr., especially Jokic and Jamal Murray. I have the Nuggets going to the finals in that conference finals game, primarily because they just have a better overall team, in my opinion, and they play really well together. The Pels do too, but I just like the Nuggets in that scenario. And then in the finals, I have Bucks Nuggets. It's hard. This is my first time really thinking about it, but I think I'm gonna go Nuggets here. I think I'm gonna go Nuggets. I think Jokic finally breaks through and wins one. I mean, he's such a good player. He's a great facilitator, and I think he really carries them to the end here and wins the whole thing.
I don't know. I just don't see the Pelicans going to the conference finals.
Okay, I mean, in my opinion, it's either Pelicans, Grizzlies, honestly. So,
Yeah.
but the Pelicans seeding needs to be better. Right now, they're like 4 or 5 seed. It's tough when you're a seed like that to make it because you're playing a decent team in the playoffs. But regardless, yeah. So that wraps our predictions. Tell us if we're crazy or tell us if you agree with us. I think personally, Grizzlies going to the finals is a bad pick. I think you think the Nuggets winning the whole thing is a bad pick, but yeah, let us know what you think. All right, now um this is a segment which my brother came up with. It's an incredible idea. I never even thought of it. So, can I get a drum roll, please? I know the screen's shaking. Sorry. Top 10 sports movies. Me and my brother both created a list, and we're gonna announce them one by one. And we might explain a little bit about the movie if it's not well known, but yeah. So, at 10, we have Hoosiers. I don't know if many of you know that movie. It takes place in like a rural town in the
Basketball
West.
movie.
It's a basketball movie. It's about a team. What was it? High school or college?
I think it was high school.
I think it was high school. No,
not
no, no.
100% sure though.
I'm actually gonna search it up right now. But so it's about this coach who's kind of like a hard coach who has like 7 players show up and they're on the team. But yeah, it's a great movie. It's inspirational. Um, yeah, I don't even know what else to say about it. What do you say about it?
It's just a great basketball movie.
It really shows like a lot of success too. But yeah, it is a high school team and it's in a tiny town in Indiana, but it's a great story. It shows how good coaching and like players that really want to learn can work hard and achieve something great. So I highly recommend that movie. It used to be on Netflix. I think you might have to buy it now, as you do most movies, unfortunately. I would just check your local providers, obviously. But all right, next movie.
At number 9, we have Space Jams, both of them. I think they're both around the same
Caliber.
Yeah.
The reason why I put him there is I don't think you can think of basketball without Space Jam. Which one do you think was a better movie, though?
Probably the second one, just because like
I'm a
the
Lakers fan, so you already know what I'm
animations
gonna
were
say.
better. And
The storyline might have been a little better in the first one, but the
Yeah.
second one was just better animated. I think LeBron was a better actor than Michael. That's just a personal opinion, but
I don't know, but I think most people agree with that. LeBron acted a lot better than Michael Jordan in
yeah.
Space Jam.
I mean, they also have better tech, right? Better stuff they can do to help with that. But
Yes.
yeah, in general. But yeah. Next, I don't know if a lot of you know about this movie, but it's it's a sad movie, but it's one of the most inspirational movies I've watched. And I didn't think of this movie originally, but when I was researching, I'm like, oh my gosh, that movie. It's called We Are Marshall. It's about a I'm forgetting it. I'm pretty sure it's a college team.
Yeah,
It's a college team that the whole team pretty much gets in a plane crash and they all die, unfortunately, which is really sad. There's only a couple players who didn't go on the plane because they were injured or whatnot, and there's one coach who's still there, but it's about them trying to rebuild, trying to take the JV players and really try to have a good season. And it's an awesome movie. I mean, I highly recommend it. It is a sad movie, but it is really inspirational. Next one.
Number 7, I think most people will know this movie. Sandlot.
Yeah.
I don't think the other ones are very good, but I definitely think the first one deserves to be on the 7th spot.
Yeah, you mean the Sandlot movies? Yeah, I agree. The other Sandlots aren't that great, but the first Sandlot is a solid movie. It's kind of like a comedy. I'm sure a lot of you know about it. It's a baseball movie. It's about these kids that um, just play together, play ball together, just practice on this field and have fun. But it's really funny. It's a good movie.
I don't know about other people, but I don't like when they like try to make like a third and a fourth movie with like new characters.
Yeah,
like
with
they
a similar plot.
did for like Home Alone and stuff. It just
I think Home
not
Alone
as
was a
good.
little better than the Sandlots were, though. Home Alone 3 was
Yeah,
a pretty good movie.
but
But
Home
you
Alone
want to.
4.
The difference is, though, Sean, the Sandlot has like the same plot pretty much, or a very similar plot.
Yeah.
Home Alone is about someone home alone, of course, but there's a lot of different like things that happen. But yeah, I know what you mean. I agree that Home Alone 1 and 2 is better, of course. But
Yeah.
yeah. Next up, is this our number 5 spot?
Number 6, I think.
Oh, you're right. Number 6, The Blind Side. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. It's about this offensive tackle, Michael Orr, right?
Pretty sure.
Was
Yes.
got drafted to the Ravens. It's about how he grows up and how this family helps him out and how he really learns about football, honestly. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good movie. Another football movie.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it is. It's a great movie. That's all I have to say. Number 5.
At number 5, I think most people know about this movie too. The Mighty Ducks. I don't know which number it is in
It's
the series.
I believe it's the second movie. It's about the one where they go to the Olympics, right?
Yeah, the Olympics.
The first one just isn't as good for me. Isn't as good in my opinion. I don't know why. It just doesn't give me the same like awe feeling when I watch the movie. Because like the first one, it's about this coach, who used to play in the NFL. It's not even a coach. He used to play in the NFL, and then he has to do community service because he got in a driving incident. And he is assigned to coach this hockey team, like recreational hockey team. And it's just about how him and the team kind of grow and come together. But the second one is about when they go to the Olympics and other players are introduced, and it's really funny. There's this kid who knows how to shoot a knuckle puck, but it's a great movie. I would really check it out. It's one of those like upbeat, kind of funny, cool movies.
At number 4, what is it?
Yeah, number 4 we have Rocky. I don't even think we have to explain it because
Yeah,
everyone knows what Rocky is.
It's a great movie.
It's about a boxer. Yeah, pretty much it. Boxer in the middle of nowhere and then has to challenge the best boxer in the world. So, but yeah. At 3, we got Glory Road. This is about Texas Western College. They're a D1 basketball program and they're in the middle of Texas, in the middle of nowhere. No one really heard about them. And this is a while back, and the coach of the team recruits a lot of black players who many black players weren't allowed in the NCAA college basketball like a while back. And it's great to see these players excel and really like just prove everyone, like show everyone. Just, I don't really know what to say about it. It's just such a great movie, and it's really heartwarming because back then what they were doing was awful, and it's really awesome to see like the unity of the players in the movie.
Yeah.
You say?
Yeah. Number 2 is the pretty much only hockey movie I've ever watched, Miracle.
We just talked about the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, yeah, besides the Mighty Ducks.
Miracle. It's another Olympic movie actually, kind of funny. So back then historically, the USA Olympic team lost to Russia all the time, and Russia was the most dominant hockey team. So now instead of taking NHL players, they hire a new coach, and he gets college players, and he takes them to the Olympics, and their goal is to win the whole thing and of course beat Russia. But it's a great story. I had it number 1, but then we moved it around to put this one up number 1.
At number 1, there's Remember the Titans.
I can't even argue with this placement.
If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. It's an amazing football movie.
It's another like movie where it takes place back in time a lot, where I don't really know where it takes place. I think it takes place in the western. I'm not 100% sure, but it's about um uh this high school team that has historically done really well, and then but the black players weren't allowed to play on the team previously, and now they are. So a lot of black players were coming to play for the team, and they hired a new head coach. And it's just a really awesome inspirational movie, and it also shows like how the players work together and stuff, and it's really heartwarming to see um, it happen. I just think it's a great movie overall, and you should really check it out. I don't think you know football if you don't watch Remember the Titans. So,
Yeah.
but I yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. There's so many good characters. I think I don't really know the name of the person, but there's this person who loves singing in the movie, and I just love that guy.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite characters too.
Yeah. All right, and we have honorable mentions that we forgot to mention. McFarland USA, which is a great movie. It's about this football coach, who moves to McFarland,
A pretty poor town.
and yeah, he coaches cross country, and really starts off a cross country program.
It's just a really cool story.
And then
track
yeah,
and running or cross country.
and The Rookie is baseball movie. It's about this coach who coaches a team. He's like 37, 38. And his players see how fast he can throw, and they're like, you got to try out for the majors. So he tries out for the majors.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We have the top 10 players in the NBA. Me and Sean are going to give you our individual rankings. We're going to go like I say my 10 slot, and he says his 10 slot, and we're going to keep doing it like that. So, yeah. At number 10, I got Anthony Davis, Paul George, and Damian Lillard. I have them all in the number 10 slot because they've kind of all been injured throughout the season. And I really think they haven't shown what they can really do this year because they've been injured. So I have them all there because when they've been performing, they've been playing great. They've been playing great.
I have one player at my 10 spot like you're supposed to. Stephen Curry.
I mean, I don't think that's a bad choice at all. I think Curry is another player who's been injured quite a bit during the year, but he's played really well when he's been playing. I have Curry at 9 personally, so we're around the same spot there. But who do you have 9?
LeBron at 9.
You know, I don't disagree with that. LeBron has been playing a lot better recently, but earlier in the year, he wasn't playing as good. He's obviously one of the best players in the league still, but yeah. I have LeBron at 8, so we're kind of alternating here. But yeah, who do you have at 8?
Here at my 8 spot, this is definitely biased. My favorite player, Damian Lillard.
I'm out here trying to make a fair list. This kid's biased. How do you have Damian Lillard above LeBron James and Stephen Curry? It's crazy, man. It's crazy stuff. But I can't say I put my player higher because I didn't, and I thought they would be. But I understand Damian Lillard's a great point guard. I just don't think he's better than Stephen Curry. That's all.
That's fair.
So at my 7th slot, I have Joel Embiid.
Yeah. Oh wait, so do I. I have Joel Embiid too.
I think it's just like that's a good spot for him. I think he's been doing so well this year. He just has help from James Harden, and Tobias Harris helps out a bit, I guess. So you can't really. It's not him just carrying the whole team. You know what I mean? That's all I have to say. But he's been playing so well, and that's why I also have this player not in the top 5, Jason Tatum at 6, because he's not carrying his team. He has a lot of pieces around him that make him look a little better, in my opinion. He's obviously a great player. He's in MVP conversations. I personally don't think he should be an MVP, but he's a great player, and I have him at 6.
I have John Morant at 6. It's John Morant, I mean.
So, yeah, I have John Morant at 5. I think he's so explosive. He's a great player. I don't really know how much great things to say about him. I just have him above Tatum because he doesn't have as much supporting pieces, and his team is still doing really good.
Well, Celtics fan, for my number 5, I have Jason Tatum.
Yeah, and I think it's fair we just swap players. They're very debatable on skill. At my number 4, I have Kevin Durant. He's been playing great this year. His team's doing great because of him. Brooklyn Nets, 4 seed. They're doing great. That's all I have to say.
Yep, Kevin Durant too. I think our top 3 are similar.
Yeah, I think our top 3 are similar. They're just in a different order. But at 3, I have Luka Doncic.
Yep.
Another player who's doing great. The difference between him and the other 2 players I have on the list is his team is doing worse than the other 2 players, and they both and all the 3 players that are my top 3 are carrying their teams right now. So
At 3, I have Nikola Jokic.
I think that's disrespectful personally, but I'll get to that later. Who do you got at number 2?
Luka Doncic.
Okay. Yeah, see, at 2 I have Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, his team's doing great because of him. He's playing great. You know what Giannis can do. He's great. That's all I have to say. He's
At my number 1,
such a very skilled player. He's so good.
I have Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, no one can really stop him, so Euro step.
No one can stop my player at number 1, the Joker, Nikola Jokic. I mean, I love Jokic. He facilitates, he playmakes, he finishes, he shoots. I don't know what else you can ask from him. He's a point center. You can rarely see that throughout the league. No wonder he won back-to-back MVPs. I think he should win another one. His team is the 1 seed. Look at the pieces around him. It's crazy. I mean, this is another reason why I have him above Giannis. Giannis, look at his supporting cast.
That's true.
Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. Jokic has Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. I know the East is a harder conference than the West, believe me, but literally, they're the 1 seed, the Nuggets, and Bucks are the 2 seed. That's why I have number 1, and I can't argue with Giannis because Giannis is his own. He's crazy good. He's amazing, but. Yeah.
And I love the story of Giannis. There's actually a movie, if you have Disney Plus, a movie of Giannis and his brothers and their childhood and where they grew up and stuff.
Do you know the title of it?
It's something like one word.
Yeah, but you should definitely see it. It's
Rise.
Rise. Yep, there you go. Awesome. Yeah, Rise. It's about him and his brothers and where they grew up and what struggles he had to go through. And I don't think you understand how much it helped his life being drafted in the NBA. All right, and that wraps up our top 10 player segment. Please comment down below if you disagree with us.
Or whose list do you think is better?
Yeah, whose list do you think is better? Yeah. And we're gonna just do one last little segment here. What teams are overhyped? So we're gonna go through this quick and then wrap it up. But we have Nets first. I think we talked about this already.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that much depth, so we can move on. 76ers. So we have 76ers here, or at least I have 76ers here, because they just historically have choked every single time they're in the playoffs. They just can't win. Doc Rivers, I don't know how he is still on the... Oh, wait.
I just don't see the 76ers
No, I think he's still the
going
coach,
to the conference finals.
I don't either. Joel Embiid's great. James Harden's great. Tyrese Maxey's great. Tobias Harris is great. They definitely have the pieces. They just can't perform in the playoffs. I just think that's why they're a little overhyped. And the last team we have on here is Luka Doncic. That's pretty much why the reason the Mavericks can't make it, because they just have Luka Doncic.
I mean, it's happened before that one player has carried their team to the championship. I just don't think it's going to happen this year with the Celtics.
I mean, they're not in the same conference.
I know, but like in the finals.
You don't think they're going to win the whole thing, you mean?
No.
Yeah. I don't even think they'll make it past Pelicans, Grizzlies, Nuggets. Those 3 teams are just better. But that's the problem. It's a one-player team in the playoffs. A one-player team isn't going to cut it. And we saw that in previous years, too. But, yeah. And I think that's about wraps it up, right?
Yep.
I'm so happy and I'm so grateful for everyone, all the support on the first video. I was so surprised how much people tuned in. But I love making this content. I love making podcasts. And I just love talking about sports. So I really appreciate all of you and everyone that's even just clicked on the video, even watched 2 minutes. I'm so grateful for all of you. And thank you so much for tuning in. Next video, we have another guest. I'm not going to tell you who that is yet, but we'll be talking about the NFL again, making some predictions. But yeah, hope you tune in for that one. Have anything else you want to say, Sean?
Nope.
And thank you to Sean so much for taking his time and really coming on and making this even better. I think having guests on is amazing and it really shows different perspectives. But tell me what y'all think down below. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. Hope you have a great day.